Good morning, folks. Sorry, we're having a little technology issue here. We will be up and running in just a minute. Yeah, I've got a bunch of people on here. So.
I'll just join the Zoom from here.
Yeah.
Recording in progress.
You have to turn your sound. Turn your sound off. That's fine. We have an echo in here. Okay, so. Your speaker on this. It's your actual computer. Okay.
Yeah, put my video on.
Your sound also has to be on. Oh, no, it's hers. Hang on there, folks. Yes, it is better. Now your sound has to be on.
Mine isn't.
Nope.
Oh.
Or hers is on. No, it's yours. All right, we've got too many computers in here. There are only 4 computers. No, yeah. Okay. Where am I here? Where's my Zoom? Where my Zoom go? My sign is my fireball. And we've been recording this whole time. Okay. Poor Kat is going to have to fix that. Okay, let me share my screen, which really isn't going to give you much here, but we're going to switch over in just a second. Let me share that. Okay. To go here and make you a co-host. All right, looks like we've got a lot of folks online. Let me move that out of the way. So let me start over here. Good morning. It is Tuesday morning, which means it's time for Tuesday training and tactics. Thank you for joining us early. I know it's a little earlier than we normally start. How many bets people come on at about 9:50 for a 10 a.m. And we're actually going to be doing this at 9 o'clock because at 10 o'clock, Barb, also with Epic Lending, is teaching a CE class. So for those of you that were not aware of that, please try to get over there if you can. I'm going to have to move this in just a second. I want to make sure that screen is visible. So this morning, we're going to be joined by Mike Tizano with Epic Lending. I'm hoping you can see his lovely little mug up there. I'm not sure what you can see online. I'm going to switch over to him. And how can we do this? We'll see how your mic is.
No, it's mine.
Oh, it's your mic. Okay. I'm going to turn mic off. That's fine. And we'll see how his mic works. That'll be great. And I will turn, well, I don't have my sound on. So let me start over. Kat, you can try this again. Good morning. It's Tuesday Training and Tactics. That means we're here today to give you some useful information. We've got Mike Tizano with Back to Basics on social media. Let me actually put this other slide up so you can see this information. And then I'm going to hand it over and I'm going to go to mute. Welcome, Mike. Go ahead and turn your mic back on.
Clicked it twice. Okay. All right. So thank you very much, Melissa. Just wanted to introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. My name is Mike Tizano. I have been coached in the social media realm for years now. And so what happened was from about 2017 to 2022, because through 2022, I track where all my business comes from. And on average, I was bringing in anywhere from 38 to 42 deals a year through social media. Now, as a lender, we're probably about 3 to 1. A really good year for a lender is 100 deals. A really good year for a realtor is probably 25 to 30 deals. So if I'm bringing in 38 to 40 deals a year as a lender through social media. Realtors realistically could bring in anywhere from 10 to 12, right? Additional on top of what they're already doing. And what happened was 2023 happened, 2024 happened. And just to be fully transparent, I let myself get into a bit of a rut. I got away from those practices and I really saw my business decline. And a lot of people would say, oh, the markets were really bad, especially in the loan area. With interest rates going higher and things of that nature. But there are still people out there that through those 2 years were still producing maybe a little less than they did in 2021, because everybody did less in 2021, but we're producing still at a high level from these or through these crazy markets. And so what I found was it's the people who stayed consistent through that and kept doing the activities that they were doing and doubled down on the activities that produce them money, that we're grabbing a larger share of the market. And you know, I noticed as my own production was dwindling down, and I started you know, I hired a one-on-one coach, and he said the same thing, is I became very inconsistent with those things that I was doing that was leading to business. And for those of you who don't know me, which I believe is pretty much everybody on this call, besides maybe Melissa, I am not a cold call person. I am not a salesperson. I could not have been a loan officer back in the early 2000s when we got paid more for ripping people off. It's just not how I operate. I'm not going to cold call a bunch of real estate agents trying to get meetings. I'm not going to cold call. I don't buy leads and things like that. All of my business has been built organically, and Facebook is the reason. And so,
You need to share your screen.
okay, I will do that momentarily. Okay. So really the lack of consistency, the poor tracking, and not building the correct audience. And I think those are the mistakes that most people make on social media. Quick question for those of you here and for anybody online that wants to answer. How many of you have multiple friends that are other real estate agents on your Facebook page?
You're gonna have to turn your sound up so you can hear people online. Because my sound got turned off.
Okay.
Hang on, folks online.
Okay. So if anybody, it could be a rhetorical question. Okay. How many of you interact with other realtors on your social media on a day-to-day basis?
I try not to.
Try not to. That's the right answer. And the reason being is because Facebook's algorithm understands that that's what you're interested in. And so who's going to see your stuff? They're going to see, and whose stuff are you going to see if you continue to interact with other real estate agents? No offense to anybody on here, but I see Jan or Jane. Is it Jan Elizabeth or Jane?
It's Jan.
Jan. Okay. Jan, you know, we have Rachel online too. Are you going to ever use Rachel as your real estate agent?
Well, no, she's a friend and she's a realtor. She's my competition.
Right. And Rachel's probably not going to use you, but if you guys are continuing to go back and forth and engaging with each other's posts nonstop and not engaging with other people's posts, that's who's going to see your information. Okay. So that's the biggest mistake I see a lot of real estate agents make on social media, is most of their engagement is with other real estate agents. And that is pretty big issue. So a couple of things that we're going to cover real quick today. Please stop me, ask questions, challenge anything I'm telling you. If you don't like it, it's fine. I don't want to be the only one talking. The number one question that you need, and if you want to write this down, what is your monthly budget for marketing? Okay. How much of that is dedicated to things like closing gifts, giveaway, and other touch points for past clients, such as sending out cards and things like that? And you might be asking yourself, what does that have to do with social media? And the social media, it ties into how you're going to do all that. So, and then we're going to cover a few different things. We're going to cover your profile setup, your compliance, you know, what your about you and personal landing page, what impression does a future buyer or seller get from you? Okay. Posting, what to post, when to post, how often to post. Resurfacing old posts, the type of content that a lot of realtors post that they probably shouldn't. Okay. Engaging with your friends list. And then we'll do a brief, because we won't have a ton of time, we'll do a brief overview of why you should have a private group for your clients and supporters of your business. Okay. So those are the main topics that we're going to discuss today. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to pull up, and I'll share my screen here in a minute. I'm going to pull up my Facebook, and I have purposely for this past week or so made some mistakes in how I post and things that I do in order to show you how limited the engagement becomes once you've made those mistakes. So let me get a screen share here. Okay. And share, and I want to share this screen. Okay. Okay. So can you guys see that now?
Not yet.
Yeah, let's try that again. I think I just share it. Okay. So
You can see what we see.
okay, not yet. Here, turn that down and try that one more time. Screen sharing failed. Let's try that one more time.
Oh, you're not gonna be able to do it on your, do you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to pull up mine on yours and share?
Well, I can't share your screen.
We'll just go to Facebook and pull up my profile.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
hopefully do
Yeah.
that.
Escape.
Let's,
All right, try this again. Sorry about that, guys. I thought I'd be able to share that.
see what comes up on my Facebook. Hang on a minute.
Okay.
It's the wrong feed. Oh, that's fine. Once I get in, I'll switch profiles.
What's your profile name?
It's just Mike Tizzano. Tizzano. Yep,
Tizzano?
correct. All right.
Epic Funding,
And
here you are.
view profile. Okay, so first and foremost,
Share this screen. Is that what's coming up?
yep.
On folks online, are you seeing that or no? I don't think I've shared it. You're just
No,
seeing my
I'm not
screen.
seeing it.
Oh,
They're not seeing it. Hold on. Let me just go
it is
back.
your Epic Lending Facebook, right? Mike?
No, my personal profile.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I've got your Epic Lending. You need help on that banner.
Yeah, no, that I just kind of threw that together for compliance because they were giving me a bunch of crap and so I was like,
Sorry, my mouth slipped before I caught it, so.
you're fine. No, yeah, I actually don't even use my business
Your
page
business
other than collect reviews.
I can't get you up on a personal.
There you go. I'm public, so it should be easy to find.
My business page is.
All right, are you guys now seeing my,
Senior loan officer, there
are
it
you
is.
seeing them on the screen now?
I see it, yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
Okay.
All right, so you want to switch over here so you can play on this and
Oh,
you can.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so what we're doing here, guys.
So let's switch back to oh yeah, that's fine. Your camera's working. Go ahead.
Okay, so what we're doing here, guys, is we're looking through my profile. And one of the things I want you guys to kind of look at is, what does this say about me as a person? Because the average, depending on where you get the information, the average home buyer or seller, or the percentage of home buyers and sellers that reuse their realtor is somewhere between 10 and 40%, depending on where you get the information. So that when they buy the house and then they go to sell it eventually down the road, it's a pretty low percentage of people that actually reuse the same real estate agents. And one of the reasons for that is because they don't stay in front of their client. Well, Facebook is the best CRM out there, and it's free. As long as they have a Facebook profile, and I know a lot of you might think, oh, some of these younger people don't go on Facebook. They do, but their parents also do. So what does this really say about me? If you look at my profile here, okay, first of all, if you look, I don't have a lot of business stuff anymore in my feed. And the reason for that is I put a lot of it more in the stories now because people are paying more attention to the stories, and I can also see who is actually viewing it.
Oh.
Right. So stories allows you to see who's actually seeing your stuff. Whereas newsfeed, unless they hit the like or comment, you don't know if somebody saw it. Okay. So I like to put my business stuff in the newsfeed. And the other reason for that is because the news feed now is so inundated with ads that if you're putting business stuff in your news feed, it just looks like another ad, right? So when you do business stuff in your news feed, it needs to tell a story. You need to make sure it doesn't look like an ad. And so the reason I do most of my stuff on the personal page versus the business page is because how many pages do you guys all like? Every time, you know, you get a new friend or you have a friend that starts a business, they ask you to like a page, you like it, right? Out of courtesy.
Mhm.
How many actual posts from pages show up in your newsfeed? What percentage do you think it is? It's like 1%. Yeah, so it's like 1 or 2% of your page stuff shows up on anybody's newsfeed. So unless they're actively going to your business page, they're not seeing your stuff. Unless they continue to engage with it, then it'll keep coming into their stuff. But if you put your business stuff out there, mix it in with your with your personal stuff on Facebook, you'll see a lot more engagement on it. And so as a general rule, you want to do no more than 1 to 2 business posts on your newsfeed a day. I'm doing less than that now. Okay. I used to do 1 to 2, or not a day, a week. I'm sorry. 1 to 2 per week, and then 4 personal posts a week, and then 1 wild card. So like if you have an open house coming up or something like that, you might do the 3rd business thing. But for the most part, you want to keep it majority personal stuff, because what are the main questions that somebody who's seeking out a real estate agent might have, right?
Who is this person? What are they
Yeah.
about?
Okay. Exactly.
Find a way to connect with you.
Mhm.
Exactly. They want to connect with you. So the 3 questions, as my coach tells me, is who are you? What's it like to work with you? And what do I get from working with you? Okay. So your Facebook should at the very least, answer the question of who you are. Because like it or not, we are in a relationship business. Now, there are some people that have a lot of success just churning numbers, but for the most part, we're in a relationship business, right? And so the reason I like Facebook over TikTok, over Instagram for business, and all of those have their place, is Facebook is the relationship platform. So it allows you to
Not
continue.
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn's business. So it's like business, and there's definitely some obviously use for that as well. But as far as just fostering relationships with past clients, Facebook is the way to go. Okay. So if you see that, so as you can see, one of the biggest issues that I see with the realtors that even do the stuff right, as far as posting and things like that, how do we get a hold of you? Okay. Now think of it this way. So the average person on social media is connected to 7 real estate agents.
Wow.
Okay. So within their anywhere from 500 to 1,500 friends is the average number of connections people have on Facebook. On average, there's 7 realtors in their area. You connect, I mean, obviously I'm seeking out real estate agents, but if you can, yeah, if you connect to all your old high school classmates, right? And how many of them realtors, right? You connect to all your old college buddies and things like that. How many of them realtors? So on average, there's 7 realtors. So the difference could be, how do I get a hold of you versus I know how to get a hold of this person, right?
Mhm.
So when you set up your profile,
You gotta do it here.
okay, when you set up your profile here, okay, as you see, I have what I do, how to get a hold of me.
Mhm.
On the upper left.
On the
of
intro.
Intro.
It's the first thing somebody sees when they go to my page, okay? Because if I put something in a story, if I do a short reel,
It's gone.
it's gone, right?
Mhm.
So if they saw it and they liked it and they're like, oh, 2 days later, yeah, I got to contact Mike for a loan. Well, if I put it on my story and it's gone, where are they going to find it?
That's all you have on your intro.
That's all you have in your
So
intro.
The guy was born in, no.
Well, that's the intro. So then below that, now this is my compliance piece, right? I have to put my NMLS number and Epic Lending. I put where I live, I put where I'm from, I put who I'm married to. But notice that I have my link tree twice. Now my link tree, I won't open it, but it goes to all my other social media platforms, my YouTube and everything else. Okay. But if you look here, what I don't have is every other frickin' place that I've ever worked in my life. You know, nobody cares that I used to work at
Mhm.
Fairway Independent Mortgage and AmeriFirst Financial and CNN Mortgage and Chase Bank and, you know, all these different things. And that before all that, I was a country club manager. Nobody cares about that. Okay. What they're looking at is, what am I doing now? I'm a senior loan officer with Epic Lending. I don't need to put all that in there. Okay. Now my profile pictures, if you look up, has nothing to do with, I got to actually change this, but has nothing to do with business, right? It's me and my family. So what's that person going to say that comes, oh, he's a dad.
Personal.
Yeah, he's a dad. Okay. Now, most people won't know what this is. 10 years ago, my daughter passed away. That's her handwriting. So that's her.
Oh.
So that's her. So if you saw my profile in September, because she passed away from cancer. So there was a lot of childhood cancer stuff in September. Okay. So so I like, if you look through my profile, and you have to shape this to yourself. Okay. But what I like is, I like funny memes. I have a 5-year-old boy who's just like me, and it's a struggle. You know, but and then my posts are very like that. So the ones I get the most engagement on are always going to be the personal posts. So this was me saying how much my son looks like me because he's a spitting image.
Yeah.
He has more hair than you.
That's very true. That's very true. That was me though, back when I was a baby. So
Yeah,
it's not going to last long for him either. So, you know, I like self-deprecating humor. So I put that one on there. You know, these are getting low engagement. And part of the reason is because what time you post matters. So how many of you guys are up at 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning? Okay. All right. How many of you guys make it a point to post first thing in the morning?
I do.
I try to schedule posts.
Okay. You should post organically. But the reason being is because the reason you want to post early in the morning and first thing in the morning, and this is you know, for me, I tracked it, and I get the most engagement if I post between 6:30 and 7, just with my audience. That's not the same for everybody. It might be 6 to 6:30. The reason you want to post first thing in the morning is 77% of people look at their phone within 15 minutes of waking up.
Yeah, but do they look at Facebook?
I'd say about 50% of that 77%.
I bet the rest play games.
They either play games, they might check other platforms, but at some point within the first hour of waking up, they're going to be looking at Facebook.
I look at mine before I go to sleep.
Yeah. So you're 23%.
That would be really good.
All right. So 77% of people look at their phone first thing when waking up. They're going through their social media platforms. And the earlier and the sooner you get engagement on your posts, the more it's going to get pushed out to your audience. Okay. So if you post something at 9 o'clock in the morning when half of your audience is working, they're not going to see it. And so you're not going to get that initial early engagement.
If you post it late at night, would they see it first thing in the morning maybe, or? You think-
Potentially, it has to get engagement within the first 15 minutes. Otherwise, it's not going to get pushed out.
So, how did you determine how people were seeing that at that time of day?
I tracked. So I went a long time, and I don't do it as much now, but I would track my posts. I'd say, okay, I would just write down, I posted today at 5:45 a.m. I got 17 engagements. I posted it. And overwhelmingly, when I went between 6:30 and 7, my engagement was higher.
I
regardless of the
noticed
type
that,
of
but
post.
the old Stuff, I get nothing on if it's posted at the wrong time.
Yeah,
I noticed that.
exactly. So yeah, and that goes back to that algorithm. If you don't start receiving engagement right away, Facebook pushes it down.
So one tip I would also say is if you are posting something about a listing, I know we're talking about personal stuff here, but let's say you do have a listing you wanted to highlight. I used to put the nice little link to the MLS and it would go directly to the MLS, gave everybody everything they needed, and guess who they don't need?
You.
Me.
And the second thing, and we were actually going to get to that, but that's fine. I don't mind jumping ahead. Like I said, I don't want to be the only one talking. But if you post links, Facebook hates you. No, they don't hate you, but they hate when you post links because it takes them off their platform. It
Mhm.
takes that user off of their platform.
Mhm.
And they're going to push that down. So typically what you should do is post a picture of the outside of the house, post a little bit of information about the house, the location, maybe the school district, bedroom, bath count, do it as a coming soon, do it as a new listing, give them a reason to comment and ask you a question about it.
Mhm.
Don't give them the address. Just say the location. Say, hey, new listing coming soon, Glendale, near Cardinal Stadium, near this school district, whatever you want to put, 4-bedroom, 3-bath. Don't even put the price if you don't want to. Because
Tease
that's
them.
the first thing anybody's going to ask.
Uh-huh.
So now you have a reason for somebody to ask a question. And should you answer the question on the comment?
No,
I think she's taken this class before.
no.
She's taken this class before. What should you do, Melissa?
You should DM them
Mhm.
and interact with them to find out what they're looking for. Because if you answer that question, guess who already has the answer?
Everybody.
Everybody else?
Everybody else.
Mhm.
PM.
Direct message.
Okay.
So,
PM.
so what the comment should be in reply to that is because you don't want people to think you don't reply to comments is, hey, I'll send you a DM with the info. Okay? Because now instead of you just giving the info and somebody else coming and having the same question and saying, shh, now they're going to say, they might reply to that comment and say, hey, can I get that info as well? And now you have two conversations going. You have two conversations going.
Well, and the other thing is when you, say you're gonna DM them, if you are not in their friend group, they may not see that message.
Mhm.
So it's really important you put that on there so that they go look for that message. Because if you have not actually friended each other,
Mhm.
so if it's a friend of a friend of a friend, they won't see, it won't pop into their alert that they have a direct message.
And what
Right.
do you do?
It'll say
Or you
message
can
request.
click on it.
Yeah. So it'll say message request and the person go and click on it. So that's the other reason that you would,
Friend them?
you can friend them, but if they're not a friend of yours and they say, hey, what's the price?
Yeah.
You just say, hey, I just sent you a direct message so they know they have it because they might not get
Okay.
alerted to it.
Close to it,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
And if somebody that's not your friend is commenting, asking you about a listing, friend request them.
Mhm.
Okay?
Yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely friend request them.
Yeah, first thing
All
to
right.
do if they're asking you pertinent questions about a property.
So the next thing I want you to notice about all my posts, any other questions on that before I move on? No. Okay, so the next thing I want you to notice about all my posts is right here. You see that little globe thing? It's public. Okay. I want the public to be able to find me. Where it says 2 days ago, and then
Oh.
there's that little globe, that means it's public.
Oh.
All of your posts should be
Oh.
public. You should not be posting anything that you wouldn't want the public to see anyway.
On your.
Yep.
Personal.
On your
page.
personal, everything's public.
I didn't know I could change that. So I have
Yep.
a business page and I post it there and then I have to go public so that it'll post it to my personal page too.
You don't want to share from business to personal. Everything should be organic. So your post should be organic to your personal page. But when you post it, so if you come over here, I'll do it here.
Just do away with the business page?
No, you have to have a business page for
Okay.
compliance. But
Okay.
yeah, but do most of your posting on your personal page.
Okay.
You post on your business page as well. Oh wait, I can't do it from here. But if you go to post, there's a little drop down. So that little, it'll either show the 2 friends or that, just drop it down to public. Okay. Now, some people say, hey, I have kids. I don't want my kids online. Okay. Don't put your kids online. Put that you're a family member, but don't put their faces online. It's fine. But you just make sure that when you're posting, that your post can be seen by people that are not your friends. Okay. All right. So another mistake that I see a lot of people making online is they tag too many people. Okay, good. So tagging should be limited to 1 or 2 people. If you tag more than 3, definitely. But if you tag more than a few people, Facebook thinks you're spamming.
Mhm.
And how many times have you seen a post where, or been tagged in a post where there's,
Post been removed.
yeah, or 99 people have been tagged and like 12 people engaged on it? Because nobody likes being tagged without permission, first of all.
Yes.
And secondly,
What's your crap
Yeah,
on their page?
right, put your crap on their page, but, and then secondly, when you're tagging that many, it just, Facebook's algorithm automatically just goes into spam mode
Mm.
and it pushes it down. So you get less and less engagement because you've tagged too many people. Now, I do agree, like if you're posting about a closing, let's say you helped a first time buyer, get their permission ahead of time, take a picture of them at the house,
Mhm.
tag them. You want
Mhm.
their friends to see what
Sure.
you did for them, right? So if there's 3 people, that's fine, tag all 3 of them. But you want all of their friends to see that because all their friends are going to be super excited for them buying a house. Okay. So you post about their closing, you got a picture of them in front of the house, you tag, John and Jane bought a home,
Mhm.
first time buyers, write a story about how you help them and make it about them. Don't make it about you. Okay. One of the biggest issues I see realtors doing on Facebook is they talk themselves up
Mm.
instead of talk their clients up.
Right.
Okay. Talk your clients up, talk your clients about, maybe how you help them. Maybe, hey, I was able to negotiate all their closing costs paid for it and they bought down the rate, stuff like that. That's fine. But, don't make the post about you. I see a lot of that as well. Like, hey, I help these first time buyers. This is my 98th deal this year. I'm awesome. I won all these awards. Nobody cares. What are you going to do for me? And that's an opportunity as a realtor when you close somebody to show what you did for them and how you went the extra mile for them. Maybe if you get closing gifts, which you should, show pictures with the closing gift, right? So they can see that. Okay. And then go from there. Okay. So next mistake. Okay. And so these are posting mistakes. We're on the posting now. Next mistakes. We already talked about don't post links. What you will notice when I post photos, when I have photos posted, and again, my feed is mostly personal, right? So my daughter plays softball. Okay. She had a tournament last weekend. How many photos do I have in my posts about her tournament?
One.
Don't post multiple photos in one post. Don't post multiple videos in one post. Don't post a photo and a video in one post. One photo, one video per post. It kills your engagement to post multiple. Okay. And the reason I don't really know why Facebook pushes those down when they have multiple, but also it's harder for people to go through and see everything. So you post one photo, one video per post. In that situation where I said you're posting, their closing gift, their picture of them in front of the house, go to Canva and create a single photo with multiple frames. So you could put multiple photos on a Canva frame and make it one photo upload to Facebook. But if you're posting 20, 30 photos from your whole weekend over there, okay.
You have to pay for the Canva to do that?
No, Canva has the free, you can do all that with the free version.
Oh.
Yeah. So Canva Pro has a lot more access, but if you just wanted to create a split photo, you can do that with Canva free. Okay. Collage. That's I couldn't think of the word, but yeah, if you want to create a collage. So
Old term.
yep. So then the next thing is we're going to talk about is going to be the hashtags. So on your personal posts, 3 or 4 hashtags max,
Never figured out what happened.
pound sign and a word. There-
What is that? I never have figured that out.
it makes it searchable. So it makes the post searchable. So like, for example, if you're posting about a listing, you would definitely want to hashtag the school district. You would definitely want to hashtag the zip code, the neighborhood name, your name. So you would want to hashtag Rachel Reed. I'd put that on every business post, whether it's a listing or not. Okay.
School, neighborhood, my name,
Zip code,
zip code.
any kind of amenities. Phoenix real estate, Glendale real estate, whatever area it's in. You can do homes for sale, Arizona home buyers, first time buyer. You want to do about 14 business hashtags on a business post.
But what does that do exactly?
Makes it searchable. So people that have
Oh.
that interest. So Facebook understands what people's interests are. How many times have you talked about something with your phone nearby and then an ad, you open up Facebook and an ad for that shows up, right? So if you're talking about, or if you're searching homes on the internet, or you're going on Zillow, you're going on realtor.com, guess what? Your Facebook knows that. and Facebook is going to start showing you posts related to real estate and home searches. Okay.
Client sends you a Zillow link,
Mhm,
don't open it,
Hmm.
just copy the MLS or the address and you go to your website.
mhm.
That's what was taught to me. Can I jump in, Mike?
Yeah.
If 14 seems a lot of hashtags, copy and save in your notes
Mhm.
and just paste it back
Yep.
into your post. I have different sections
Yep.
for different areas, like Cave Creek.
Exactly. That's a great tip. For those of you online that didn't hear it, he said, if you think trying to come up with 14 hashtags is going to be hard for you, 12 to 14, make a note in your notes on your phone or on your laptop and just copy paste them when you make your post. Okay.
Post again with more of them?
No, the same post. So
Um,
you can just make a Microsoft Word document with all the hashtags and then just copy paste that and throw it on your post. Okay. Yeah.
So,
Keep it
so
going.
to repeat what Mike is saying is you create a Microsoft, just a page with
Different
some of the posts for different areas. So like what Ami said is she has hashtags for the Cave Creek area. Or
Mhm.
let's say I'm doing something
and then
here
just copy them all.
and copy them all and put them on each of those posts that are with regard to that
To that
location.
When you're creating that post, absolutely.
Right, so my kids used to go to North Ranch, so you
Yeah.
could have, I could have had a hashtag North Ranch, hashtag PV schools, hashtag Horizon High School, right, which is right near that. And I could have a whole section that has anything that goes in that area is gonna have this sequence of those hashtags. And I might have my team hashtags, right, so I could have below different teams. And I'm not necessarily gonna have them on each of those, but then I would copy 5 of those and then copy another 5, and that makes my 10 of my 14. Then I'm gonna do the unique ones for that particular listing.
Yeah.
I think
Right. And then and open house and all that stuff.
Right.
So you just have them so you can just so you don't have to try to think about them over and over and over again. They're
Yeah.
just there. So you write down the ones that work, and obviously you won't have them initially since you haven't done them before. But if you do them, okay, copy the ones that you do, put them on there, and then think of other ones as you go. You can always go back and edit your post. So if you think of another one you forgot, just go back and edit and add it. That's not a
Mhm.
problem. Okay. So again, so over here, we've talked about the profile setup. We've talked about the posting. Some things that I see realtors post that they probably shouldn't. Melinda's not here. Okay. What to do this weekend from the title company, right? Okay. What? Nobody
Don't post that
reads that. Nobody's looking at that. How much engagement have you ever gotten on that?
in that newsletter. that goes
Right.
out, too.
It's fine. Throw it in your stories if you want to.
Only if there's like a market, like I have a property out in Santan, if there's like a market and you wanna
Mhm.
kind of pitch your property, your area,
Yeah.
maybe, but yeah, you're right.
But say something
Don't-
about it. Don't
yeah.
just put the picture up there.
This one, a
Mhm.
particular listing is not in stories.
A particular listing you're going to put in stories too. We're going to get to stories. Stories is a different animal. So, all right. So now, because the stories with your listing, you want to put your listing in there every day because stories only last 24 hours.
Oh, that's
Okay.
a very interesting thing to know.
Yeah. So stories stay up for 24 hours. So,
Mhm.
okay. So like we're saying, so that what to do this weekend flyer, what's better than that is maybe go do something and show yourself doing that and enjoying life and having fun. People want to see that you're a fun person, somebody that's down to earth and do that. They want to
Mhm.
see you out doing the activities that you're promoting. So if there's a market by your listing in Santan Valley, go to it and take video of yourself at that market and put it in your stories of, hey, I have this is an awesome thing happening in Santan Valley, this farmer's market. This is all the cool stuff they have. Oh, and by the way, I have a listing right around the corner from here. So you can come every weekend if you live in this house, right?
Mhm.
That will go a lot farther than a flyer from the title company that says, hey, these are the things that are happening this weekend. Okay. And
Yeah.
then, and again, you can put that up and you can put that in your stories, but as a piece of it, it's not your post for the day. Okay.
Story a day, but then they're gone the next day.
6 stories a day. We'll get to that. I haven't even, we're not even at stories yet.
I have a life, you know.
that would be what I can find.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
they go.
they go after 24 hours. So now the biggest thing here is with posting too, the next big thing about posting, one post in your newsfeed per day. No more, no less. All right. If you post every day, Facebook likes that and they will start pushing your stuff out more if you do it right. If you're not spamming, if you're not adding
Posting
links,
Newsfeed per day,
Yep.
6 stories per day.
4 to 6. I
I'm
do.
gonna be busy.
It's actually it's easy from your phone, and so it's a lot easier than you think. So you can post a flyer, you can post a meme, whatever you want to do. So I'm gonna pull up since we're jumping to stories. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my story here. Okay, so we're gonna go here, and I'm going to view my story. So right now, I posted yesterday. This is going to be gone in an hour. I had my mastermind meeting. My coach is John Story. He's the one who teaches me about all this. Okay. This is a video I did on Instagram that I shared over to my Facebook story. And it's something that we said. Notice something about the video. And this is another mistake people make on their videos, posting and in stories. They don't caption them. A lot of people are looking at your videos when they can't have their sound on. Okay. Easy place to go get captions, and it's free, is CapCut. I have a pro account with CapCut, so I get better options. Okay. So here my daughter is, she's starting to get into the recruiting cycle. So I'm making sure she's being seen lifting. She's at that age where if she wants a softball scholarship, she's got to put stuff out there. And then just a little fun. My 5-year-old son likes to help her with drills. All right. So I don't have any business in there. At the moment, I am going to be putting 2 business stories up when we're done with this call. So what I put up as a lender is going to be different than you. So I'm putting up my clear to closes. I'm putting up my under contracts. I'm putting up appraised, and then when I want to tell a story about a specific buyer, then I put it in the posts. Okay. Once you do, the other thing about the stories that they can connect with your business posts was when you make your business posts, okay, also add stories about the same business posts. Okay. So if you have your closing with your client in front of the house and your closing gift on your Canva, go to your stories, put the same thing in your same picture in your stories and just say, congratulations to my first time buyers on closing on their home. Then your next story is a picture of their home. Then your next story is a picture of your closing gift. Now you got 3 stories in 2 minutes. See, it's not as time consuming as you think. It doesn't take a lot of time.
If you don't have a listing or a closing going
Yeah.
on, what in the world are you gonna?
Just
tell
something
stories
personal.
about?
Like if you're at an open house, if you're previewing a house, if you're on a home tour, that's what your business stories are going to be,
So
right?
I just did a home tour and everybody had their phones out making these store and like, I was stunned.
Me
They were like,
too.
every second.
99.9% of the people that are going to home tours are doing it to have something to put on social media.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guarantee you, most of the people that are there are doing it to have something to put on social media.
Wow.
They don't give a crap. They know what houses are available. They can see them,
Mhm.
right?
Well, no, it was a home,
Yeah.
no, they all had, well, they didn't all have listings on a tour, but most of them. did.
Yeah, but you put your listing on the tour. It's just something that you're giving, you guys know why you put listings on tours. So
Mhm.
I don't have to get into that, but the people that are coming that don't have listings on tours, the realtors that are coming to preview, it's for their social media more often than not. So, so that's the next, so the stories are 4 to 6 a day. Mix it up between business and personal. If you don't have a listing, if you don't have a buyer, do a tip, do a quick. Now your story videos can only be about 26 seconds, I think, on Facebook. They're 30 seconds on Instagram. Do a 26-second tip video if you need to. Just if you have your face, just hold your phone out far from your face, or if you have a tripod, even better. Just do a quick, home buyer tip video, home seller tip video, and then put a slide behind it as your next story. So like if you get one of those slides from Title that has tips for staging, do a quick video and say, hey, did you guys know that properly staging your home can increase your home's sales value and appeal by whatever amount you're going to say? And then post the video with the captions and then the slide behind it, the tips for staging slide behind it.
You can put your staged home on there.
If you don't, I'm talking about if you don't have
Okay, yeah.
anything working, right? So
Mhm.
if you don't have any clients going at the moment, that's the way to get out there. Tips and education go a lot further than anything else, especially when you don't have stories to tell about your buyers and sellers. Okay.
Mhm.
So one of the things I recommend people do, he's got a whole back to basics. You can't see that on here, but is actually to sit down and do kind of a brain, just free flow, write notes
Mhm.
of some of those things that you can think of tips. You can go search on NAR, find different things on NAR to help you. There are slides available if you have your GRI, if you have any of your other certifications. Those websites for those certifications have a ton of data on those tips
Mhm.
that you can pull that down. The idea is to create just a thumbnail page of different ideas. So you have some place to go when you're going, what should I post today?
That's your
There you
content.
go. Here you got content. Go look through there and go, oh, here, I'll do these 3.
Yep.
You know, and so you can really go through stuff like that. The other thing is, if you're gonna start doing a lot of this, is I'm old school. I want a printed calendar, but to look at a actual calendar and figure out when you want to print things, you know, you've got a listing coming up in 2 weeks. Figure out when you're going to put the things out for that property that's coming up. So you know you're filling those dates in advance.
Right.
And then you know what other dates you need to add fill and add content for.
Exactly. And to piggyback on what you said about the content, and that's perfect. As you gain those, the CFPB, the NAR, all those websites that have all those things on there, how many times have you been asked a question by a buyer or seller? All the time. That's content. If they have a question, guess what? Your audience who's thinking about buying or selling a home in the future probably has the same question.
Mm.
So why not do a video on it and put it out there? Hey, I just got a great question today. Okay. I got asked, do I really need a home inspection by one of my current buyers? And what's the point of paying $500 for a home inspection? Let me tell you why I suggest to all my clients that you have a home inspection.
Especially when they're a builder.
On a new build. Exactly. That's even better. Because everybody talks about home inspection, but it's a brand new home. Do you need a home inspection? Right? This is why. And then if you have a story about how a home inspection went a little funky with the builder, that's even better, right? Add it, add all that in there, because every question you have from any of your clients, anybody that's thinking about buying or selling a home in the future is going to have the same question. That's the mentality you need to have. And so if you can answer that question, and now this is a totally different subject, but I would actually have a YouTube channel and playlist. If I make the video and put it on a YouTube playlist, and then when that question gets asked, I can say, hey, you know, that's a great question. Instead of having to go through and have a 20-minute conversation, I'm in a meeting right now. Here's a link to my YouTube video that covers that exact topic. Matter of fact, go ahead and subscribe, because there's going to be a lot of answers to your questions there. I'm happy to talk through it without you, but I don't want you to have to wait for me if I'm with a client or in a meeting or in a class. If I'm in my 3-hour CE class right now, I don't want you to have to wait to get back. So this will answer your question, and I'm happy to discuss it with you after, right? It gives you a chance to be everywhere at once without being everywhere. So once you create the video, yeah, you upload it to Facebook, but also have a YouTube channel so that you can have the buying and selling process already out on video, and you can just text them a link and say, hey, I love that question. I just don't have, I can't get on a call right now. I don't want to make you wait. Here's the answer. Here's a 2-minute video that answers that question for you.
As your broker, I do that all the time. Because people call me and ask the same question over and over, and I'm like, please go to my YouTube channel.
Well, I mean, the new forums, I don't know how many times I heard you ask, did you Did you actually watch that video? Did you watch the videos on this?
Well, the
I'm not-
funnier was the person that came in and said, hey, do you have 15 minutes? And I
Yeah.
said, sure. And then they said, yeah, could you just give me a rundown on everything that's happened on the lawsuit and all the change in forms? And I said, no.
15 minutes?
No.
All right, guys. So we are kind of getting a little tight on time. So I want to talk about engagement. Okay. I want to talk about engaging with your friends list. I want to talk about engaging with your clients list because this is the next and most important thing. Okay. Because if you don't engage with the people on your friends list and the potential future clients on your friends list, they're not going to engage with you. And then they're not going to see all this awesome content you're putting out. Right.
Mhm.
So yeah, two things that I do is number one, when I wake up in the morning and I do my morning routine, I get up early and I get up and before everybody else is up, I go through everybody's stories. And the reason I do this on stories is because it allows you to start conversations. I will
Based on what you're at.
yeah, I will target people. So, and I don't have time to get into target lists, but you should create target lists of people who could potentially be future clients and make sure you're engaging with them the most.
Mhm.
And I would find those people. And if they have stories up, I will make a comment because the story comments go through Messenger to them. So I will send them a message through their stories about their story. And
Mhm.
now we start a conversation. And I don't know how many times I have started a conversation. It's been quite a few in the last few months where I started a conversation. It's like, hey, those tacos look amazing. Oh, hey, you know what? I was thinking about refinancing.
Yeah, everybody's dream that happens like that.
Right. But it does.
It does.
You'd be amazed.
Really.
You'd be absolutely amazed. You just keep those conversations
So go through
going.
The stories, make a comment, it'll go to their
It'll go to them.
message.
It'll go to their messengers. Yeah. So if you click on their stories, it says send message. Hey, those tacos look amazing. Right. Okay. Oh, thanks. Okay. And that might be all it is. But now that person engaged back with you. So now you know their story is going to show up again. So their next story, you make a comment. Eventually you have a conversation rolling with that person. You're building a relationship. You can change the subject of it. You're not
Mhm.
selling them
Right.
anything, but they're going to start seeing your content and your posts. And if they see enough, not too much where you're overly salesy, but enough of the business stuff on your
Mhm.
personal page, they're going to be, oh, hey, Jan's talking to me. She's a realtor. She seems pretty cool. They happen to be a person that's buying or selling down the road. They're probably going to reach out to you versus the other 6 realtors who aren't paying them any attention.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
So that's number one. Number 2 is I look for the people that I haven't engaged with in a while. So you can go through your friends list. Easiest to do it on your phone because your phone will put it in alphabetical order. And once a week, I go through the A's, B's, and C's and the D's, E's, and F's. And if I haven't heard from them in a while, I will go look back at some of their posts and I'll hit like on a couple of their old posts. So a lot of
Like
them,
everyone's posts, so
Yeah.
they see that.
right. And that's
There.
perfect. So you want to like at least 15 to 20 posts a day. So I'll do the ones that come up in my feed because those are people that are engaging with me already and I want to keep that going. But then I'll go through and find people that I haven't heard from in a while. And some of them, they might have a post for 2 years,
Mhm.
whatever, just leave it alone. But others, they might have posted a week and a half ago and you didn't see it. So go put it in there. All this sounds very time
Even if
consuming.
it's a week late, you
Yes.
can click like.
Yeah, because
Okay.
they'll get a notification that
So there.
Jan liked your post next time they log on. It doesn't matter.
Well,
I
not
have-
everyone's on
Yeah.
on daily, especially
Right.
Facebook.
Yeah.
It's just one of those. It's not like
Yeah.
Instagram or TikTok.
They're
Right.
still happy if you like it a week later.
Yeah, exactly. And so, so those are the ways that you're going to make sure you're getting your stuff back in their feed. Okay. And then lastly, you want to create a target list. So you want to new friend somebody, at least one new friend a week, and you want to make sure you're engaging with those people. Okay. You don't want to send too many friend requests at a time. Otherwise you look like a spammer. But one a day in hopes that you get one new friend a week. And once you get that friend request accepted, then you start engaging, make sure you're engaging with their stories, make sure you're engaging with their content. So they see your stuff.
Even if you don't know them.
As a rule, so if I have more than 10 mutual friends with somebody and they live in Arizona,
Yeah.
then
of
I
course.
will send them because
that's amazing.
there's something we have in common.
Yeah, but once you've expended all that, I mean, do you want
The-
to
the
click on the friend of a friend?
Facebook puts the people in your, they'll put people you may know based on
Yeah.
how many mutual connections you have. Like,
That's so
one of a guy I went to I didn't even go to high school with him. He graduated way ahead of me. I just saw that I had 43 mutual friends with him. My friend requested him. I did a refinance for him. I did his son's home. So I got 3 deals out of him. I never have met this person in person in my life. Okay, still, I mean, because it was during COVID that I did his refinance, so I couldn't go to the signing or anything. So,
Yeah.
so all of that happened. Now I know we covered a lot in a short time. I know it seems overwhelming and like it's very time consuming, but if you track it, if you really kind of get into the groove of doing it, it won't take you more than a half hour to an hour a day. Okay. It's not that bad. And then, so the next piece of this, which we can't cover today, is why you need a private group for your clients and supporters of your business. And that's not something you have to deal with daily. But and client appreciation, and this is why I ask about the monthly budget. The first client appreciation event I did, I rented out a movie theater at 32nd and Bell, which isn't even there anymore. Harkins. I did a client appreciation movie. Now, my mistake was most of my clients are in the West Valley. So I didn't get a lot of people to come. But so what I did was I reached out, my daughter went to Mercury Mine Elementary School. I reached out to the head of the parent teacher group. I said, hey, I want to invite the teachers and all the volunteers to this. And they all came and I filled up my client appreciation thing. One teacher I've done 3 loans for. The head of the parent teacher group, I did her loan, her dad's loan.
Costs you to pay for a whole theater.
$1,100 bucks. $1,100 and I made about $80,000 in commission off of that event.
Kudos.
Okay. And so that's why I say, what's your budget? So you have to kind of know, what am I going to give back to my clients? What am I going to give back? What am I going to pay in advertising? And how much am I going to get off of that? And try to track your ROI. But we're at 10 o'clock. So I know you got to wrap.
I gotta run upstairs to say
We're going
thank you for that.
upstairs.
So head upstairs. Thank you. We would, please get back to me if you'd like me to continue to do this. And see if we can get Mike to come back and share again. Thank you so much. He's got lots and lots of info, so appreciate it. And those of you heading up to this morning's class,